I remember catching little snippets of the movie Barbarella on the Sci-Fi Channel when I was a kid, and for the most part, I had no idea what I was watching. But the one scene that fused itself in my brain is probably the one scene that everyone thinks of when they think of Barbarella. My young brain knew that this had something to do with adult things, but I could not yet comprehend how. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Barbarella is a 1968 science fiction movie starring Jane Fonda. And if you watch Barbarella on Amazon, it will assume that you are a fan of all Jane Fonda media and begin to repeatedly recommend her exercise videos. According to Sir Mix-a-Lot, you should not do Jane Fonda's exercise workouts if you want to have a motor in the back of your Honda. I drive a Hyundai, so. Barbarella is not a very cerebral science fiction film. It was never intended to be. But it is based on a French comic book of the same name, which I have never read. A quick Google search of the comic shows Barbarella wearing this skin-tight red jumpsuit a lot. And the red jumpsuit does not appear in the movie, but we do see it in the Britney Spears Oops, I Did It Again music video. And so, of course, this sent me down a Google rabbit hole of trying to figure out if the Britney Spears video was an intentional homage to Barbarella. And the answer, best I can tell from this Bustle article, is yes, kind of. Anyway, veering back on track here, this movie basically has all of the plot setup of a porn, just without the NC-17 content. Like, imagine watching just the first part of a porno for an hour and a half. This movie is absolutely absurd on many, many levels. It was, at the time, described as psychedelic, which I think holds true. So with all of these weird factors combined, decades later, now makes Barbarella into just pure, unadulterated camp. The plot of this movie is insane and disorganized. I could either describe it in a broad, overarching way that would take about 10 seconds, or I could just go into a solid half-hour breakdown of random minutia. And this is me talking, so prepare for a solid half-hour breakdown of random minutia. This movie starts out with a spacesuit striptease. And if I had $1 for every video I made about something containing a spacesuit striptease, I would have $2. It's not a lot, but it is certainly more than you would expect. It goes on way too long, as all spacesuit stripteases do.
Barbarella psychedelic, there's a kind of cockle shell about you.
Oh yeah, this is 1968, alright. FYI, there is nudity in this. Jane Fonda is 100% topless, right in the intro. So, when her striptease is done, Barbarella gets a call from the President of Earth, and he decides to send Barbarella after a handsome young scientist who invented a weapon and then disappeared. And the scientist's name is Durand, which, yes, did inspire the name of Duran Duran.
Here is the only known photograph of Durand in existence. Age 26, hazel eyes, a rather handsome fellow.
In this weird, pro-nudity future, the universe has essentially found peace. So the invention of a weapon has the potential to cause a lot of problems. Fortunately, Barbarella is a highly competent navigatrix.
Besides, you're a 5-star, double-rated astronavigatrix.
With the gift of some weapons from a museum, Barbarella is ready to go on her mission.
Armed, like a naked savage.
Her spaceship is encased in shag carpet. Classy. There is another too long sequence where Barbarella loses control of her ship and crash lands on a planet named Planet 16. This movie has all of the plot effort of a porno. I'm not wrong. Barbarella dons her exploratory space uniform to go check out the planet. And I'm not gonna lie, I actually kind of like this outfit. However, some creepy twin children, right out of the space shining, attack Barbarella, knock her unconscious with what seems to be a snowball, and then tie her up and load her onto this sled pulled by a stingray, which seems to actually move slower than they could probably walk at a brisk pace. She does see Durand's spaceship, which is full of more creepy children. And there are also some bunny rabbits that look like they were dyed blue, which was probably harmful to the animals. It makes me sad.
Come on, untie me or I'm gonna call your parents.
Oh God, a creepy doll! More creepy dolls! I hate this! I hate this. I hate this. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. No, 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 This is not what I signed up for. Bring back the nudity and the shag carpet. Oh my God, the zombie dolls move so slowly. When is this scene going to be over? Okay, so they finally reach Barbarella and they start biting her and ripping her clothes while Barbarella writhes in agony? Fortunately, she is soon rescued, and then we witness some casual child abuse. Her savior is Mark Hand. His job is catching children.
Catchman?
Yes. All children must live in the ice and forests of Weir until they have reached a serviceable age.
Serviceable?
And then I capture them with my net, just as you have seen.
Barbarella is so grateful, and she asks if there's anything she can do for him. And he says, "Why, yes, there is. Wink, wink." Actually, there's nothing really vague or subtle about it.
I mean, if there's anything you need or that I can do, please tell me.
Well, you could let me make love to you.
It is then that we learn that people on Earth in the future do not have physical relations with one another.
Well, on Earth, when our psychocardiogram readings are in harmony and we wish to make love, as you call it, we take an exaltation transference pellet and remain like this. Here, let me show you.
They have sex by taking a pill and touching hands for 1 minute. So it doesn't really save that much time.
Well, if you simply must insist, I guess so. But I can assure you there's really no point at all in doing it like this.
Apparently, only poor people have sex because they can't afford the pills. But Barbarella is just like, oh, fine, whatever. If you really want to, this is dumb. Oh God, he is just as hairy under the suit. And again, despite the flimsy nature of this premise and dialogue, this is not a porno. It basically just fades to black. It fades to the Catchman's ship driving around the ice in circles. Turns out, surprise, Barbarella had a great time. And she gets a brand new skunk outfit.
I dreamed you existed. How could I?
She continues her search for Durand, tripping over her own skunk tail.
I gotta get rid of this tail.
So we get another outfit change. And I do wonder which one is considered to be the most iconic Barbarella outfit. Like, if I were to cosplay as Barbarella, what would I be wearing? So now, rocks fall and Barbarella is knocked unconscious again. She must have a concussion at this point. Like, I'm really worried about her. She wakes up with this weird angel man kind of just feeling her up and staring into the middle distance.
I'm dead.
His name is Pigar. He is an angel, and he is also blind. And he offers to take Barbarella to Professor Ping because he thinks that the professor might know something about Durand. So they have to travel through this labyrinth that is full of weirdos. Lots of shots of the weirdos. Professor Ping is a keen observationalist.
You are of female gender, are you not?
That is correct.
Professor Ping is also just really hyping up the city of Sogo.
That is Sogo, city of night, ruled by the great tyrant and dedicated to evil in every form.
Which, of course, is where Durand probably is hiding. But Barbarella's ship has broken, so she has no way to get to the city. Pigar, being a winged creature, could probably fly her there, except he has lost the will to fly.
The angel is aerodynamically sound. It's all a question of morale.
Robot guards attack Barbarella for no real reason, and then Pigar, the blind angel, shoots the robot like on his first try, and the robot explodes. Or should I have said it like I said it in the Tony's Boys video? And then the robot explodes! And again, Barbarella's clothes are strategically torn. I'm noticing a pattern here. Fade to black and cut to Barbarella singing very happily post-coitus.
Oh, Pigar! Be careful!
Yes, with her concerted efforts, she has restored Pigar's will to fly. So now he can fly her to Sogo. I keep wanting to say Soho, but it's not Soho. It's Sogo. There is a thrilling action sequence.
Pigar, watch out! I got it.
The way the actor playing Pigar kind of moves his entire body with each flap of his wings just looks so uncomfortable. And I feel so uncomfortable watching it. Once they have defeated all of the enemy ships, Barbarella stashes her gun in Pigar's diaper.
Excuse me.
Huh?
So they sneak into the back streets of Sogo. It is an interesting place in many of the introductory shots, there is just a dead lady on the ground. And you can see in this one scene when Pigar kind of falls down, he accidentally puts his hand on the dead lady's leg and then smells his hand. Barbarella is kidnapped and thrown into a pile of inflatable bags. She is then saved by this lady.
Hello, pretty.
Meanwhile, Pigar is being surrounded and gently poked with knives. I really just don't know how to describe some of these scenes. They sound ridiculous. And who designed these sets? What is happening? They end up in the Chamber of Ultimate Solution, which is basically a suicide chamber. But they make it like a mystery.
Ye who have chosen to die, be welcome. To terminate the bitterness of life, you are entitled to select from the 3 exciting and surprising forms of death.
It's death with a little surprise. Barbarella also makes a noise like I do when I see a spider. Pigar just has no idea what is going on ever. Barbarella, just ditch him. He is dead weight. The concierge to the great tyrant that rules Sogo saves Barbarella and Pigar on the tyrant's behalf.
Tell me, what is your name, and what do you do in life?
I'm concierge to the great tyrant.
The concierge also then explains the liquid energy that lives under the planet's surface that feeds on evil thoughts and negative actions.
It is magnetic, and being positively charged, it feeds on negative psychic vibrations. What you would call evil.
Honestly, everything in this movie is just so random. The first time I was watching this, I had no idea what to write down in my notes because I had no idea what would or would not be important later. The space shining children make a comeback.
Play with us, Earthling. We must play with lots of dolls. We have lots of dolls.
Good heavens, what are they doing here?
Also, I have been calling them the Space Shining Children, but I checked, and The Shining was not published until 1977. So I am on to you, Stephen King, taking inspiration from Barbarella. Who would have thought? The weird lady comes back too, and she doesn't have an eye patch this time. But fortunately, they gave her that special catchphrase so that I'm able to recognize her.
So, my pretty, we meet again.
Surprise! She is actually the great tyrant. She's fun. That's exactly how I would dress if I was the overlord of an evil space city. The great tyrant has nabbed Pigar and, crucified him.
Pigar!
Which, wow, that is a lot to unpack there that I am just going to gloss right over. But fortunately, Barbarella hid that gun in Pigar's diaper, so she's able to get that out and threaten the great tyrant.
Decrucify the angel. What? Decrucify him or I'll melt your face.
But Barbarella kind of has no real plan or endgame here. She gets them to take Pigar down, but then they quickly realize that her gun isn't working, so then Barbarella just gets taken captive again.
So it was a trick, was it? You should have saved your tricks for
For the birds, Your Majesty?
Yes.
And this time she is given to the birds, which is exactly what it sounds like. She is put in a cage, and she is attacked by birds. I read that originally this was supposed to be hummingbirds, but I think it was illegal to ship the hummingbirds that they needed, so they just got other exotic-looking birds and then put bird seed in Jane Fonda's clothes so that the birds would kind of fly at her. She apparently did not have a great time filming this movie. What would they have done if it was hummingbirds? Would they have just like coated her in sugar water? Again, Barbarella is attacked and her clothes are strategically torn. She's then dropped through a tube and rescued by Dildano, who has that name and wears this outfit.
I'm Dildano, head of the Revolutionary Forces. This is our headquarters.
I swear, trying to describe this movie feels like trying to describe a weird dream I had one time that makes sense only to me.
Are you typical of Earth women?
I'm about average.
Anyway, Dildo Guy runs some sort of resistance. It doesn't even really matter. But since he rescued her, Barbarella is like, yes, I know exactly how this goes. Now we bang.
Shall I tell you what I would like?
I think I know.
No, not like that.
But Dildano wants to do it the pill way, so we get to see what that looks like. And it looks like this. Barbarella gets another new outfit. It's one of their secret uniforms, and I don't like this one as much as the others. Okay, so Dildano tasks Barbarella with breaking into the Black Queen's secret chamber of dreams in order to ask her where Durand is and to somehow help the rebellion stage a coup. So Barbarella goes back through the streets of Sogo, I guess to like go do that. And what I can't show you are the shots of a woman just strung up with leather ropes, completely naked. This movie is 100% somebody's fetish.
What is it?
Essence of man.
Essence of man.
Barbarella's plan, again, like most parts of this plot, turns out to be completely pointless. The concierge finds her almost immediately.
Well, so you escaped the birds. Just as well. That's my time for some amusement. Come with me.
And now we have finally reached the part of the movie that I remembered most. The concierge puts Barbarella in a machine meant to kill her. It is called the excessive machine.
What is this thing?
Susie, my dear. Sonata for executioner and various young women.
The whole scene is just... I mean, him with the controls and her just... But instead of killing Barbarella, she breaks the machine.
You burnt out the excessive machine. You've blown all its fuses.
And then he shames her, which is like really weird.
What kind of girl are you? Have you no shame? Shame. Shame on you.
And then she discovers the truth. The concierge is Durand.
I could never have recognized you. I thought you were only 25 years old.
Well, the madness is not without its effect.
But you've aged 30 years.
The madness has its own means of nourishment.
She never would have guessed, because he's old now. A twist. She gets another new outfit, and rather than kill her, they decide to team up to take down the Black Queen in her secret chamber of dreams. Well, it's sort of a team up. I mean, he has her at gunpoint the whole time, even though she has exhibited that she is not really a threat to him. And before discovering his identity, they would have had the same end goal of getting into the Black Queen's secret chamber of dreams. But Barbarella's reason for that was to find out where Durand is, and now she knows. It's just kind of messy. By the way, they were calling this character the Great Tyrant for most of the movie, and now they are calling her the Black Queen. And they transitioned this verbiage without any kind of explanation, but they do mean the same person. Durand locks Barbarella in the chamber, and since he has the key, he says that the chamber is now sealed forever, and with Barbarella and the Black Queen out of his way, he can now take over Sogo and Earth and the universe. It's good to have goals.
Tomorrow, master of the Earth, master of the galaxy, master of the universe.
I do really hope he works on his maniacal laugh first, though. So Barbarella wakes up the Queen, who says that they are doomed.
We are doomed. Doomed.
But the Queen has this, screen in her secret chamber of dreams that allows her to see everything that's happening in Sogo and in the labyrinth.
Unfortunately, it's a one-way screen. No one can see that bloody dog has locked me in.
So via the screen, we get to see the labyrinth weirdos and the rebels armed with the weapons from Barbarella's ship, fighting the Great Tyrant's robot guards or whatever. It is this great climactic battle that our main character is not even remotely a part of. The rebellion defeats the guards, and Durand decides to use that fancy laser weapon that he invented that was mentioned at the beginning.
It works.
The Queen decides that if she is going to die, she is basically going to trigger the apocalypse and free the Matmos, which is that weird energy liquid that feeds on evil that lives inside the planet.
I shall free the Matmos.
Do you think that's wise?
Sogo will disappear. It will be the end. The apocalypse.
But fortunately, Barbarella's innocence saves them.
It seems the Matmos has created this bubble to protect itself from your innocence.
That's nice.
That is nice. The one potentially interesting actual theme that appears within this movie is the fact that even though Barbarella has been having a lot of sex, the Matmos still recognizes the innocence within her heart. And I do think that there's a lot that you could explore there, but I really don't think that theme was intentional. I think it was just another random thing that was thrown out there. But if I had to write a college thesis paper, I would write it about that. Basically, at that point, the positronic ray machine catches fire and kills Durand, which I think is kind of a similar problem as what he experienced with the excessive machine. I don't think this guy actually tests his inventions before he uses them. He's not a very good scientist. Apparently, the Matmos also spat out Pigar, and rather than do CPR, Barbarella just kind of flaps his wings.
Please. Pigar, please.
Of course. And then Pigar flies both Barbarella and the Black Queen back to Barbarella's ship.
Pigar? What did you save her for after all the terrible things she's done to you?
An angel has no memory.
Angels are like goldfish. But that's the last line of the movie. That's it. A bunch of people died. I don't think that you need to have alcohol to have fun, but I do think that alcohol would have made this better. I also think that this movie would be a lot of fun to see in a big theater full of people that you can kind of react and interact with, as opposed to alone and confused. This movie was kind of a flop at the time, so I can't even say that all of this would have made sense in the 60s, because they didn't get it either. Maybe it will make sense in the future, like in the 2060s. Maybe if I'm still alive then, I will make a follow-up video. There was talk over the years of doing a Barbarella reboot movie or a TV series, but nothing came to fruition. However, we'll always have Planet 16. Oh, I can't wait for my pizza delivery to get here. My mouth is watering just thinking about it. I've got a special delivery. You ordered a large sausage with a stuffed crust. I do love a large sausage. How can I pay you for this hot pizza? Well, let me see. Oh, you already paid in the app. Then I should probably give you an extra special tip. You sure can. And I've got just the thing. You can actually tip in the app, but then you have to report the tip on your taxes. Let me look for my wallet. I think I had it over here on the couch and oh no, I'm stuck in the couch cushions. Well, what a vulnerable and precarious position. Here, let me help you out of the couch. How can I possibly thank you for helping me? There is one thing you can do if you feel comfortable with it. You can rate me 5 stars in the app.